It is the Riot on RadioU. Hey, Nikki, have you ever done that thing with Amazon where you return something by taking it to Kohl's?
No, I just take it to the UPS store right over there.
Well, I'm returning something that I have to take to Kohl's.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that, though. It's free to return it to the UPS store.
It's not. It's only free if it's defective in some way.
Oh.
And it wasn't defective. I just need to return it.
No way. They take it all the time.
Well, they do, but they charge you. Through Amazon. I've done both.
Don't accept the first offer.
Okay.
What are you doing? Get back in there.
I don't understand how Nikki does. Like,
just drop it off.
She's paying less. She's doing more. I don't know how she does it.
You don't even have to print it out. You just take it over there and scan it, and then they return it for you.
You're amazing.
No.
All right, look, there it is. I'm not even being facetious.
I just don't want you to accept anything less than what you deserve.
I appreciate that, but I'm going to Kohl's.
And you deserve not to go in because they're going to try to get you.
You know, I heard they got a nice clearance section.
It's probably
I don't know.
like in the back of the store.
You know it
they
is.
They make you walk through, I'm sure.
And it's heavy. This thing is heavy. So I got to take it back.
Well, have a good time.
Yeah, right. Okay, so hey, today in the podcast, today is cancel day, which you'll learn about.
Cancel, you'll learn the word postponed and indefinitely. We'll get to that.
A lot of postponing. We talk about the Rock and the XFL, Coca Cola, Supersonic transports and TCL TVs. Sugar Rush, garage sales.
The biggest yard sale.
Yeah, the longest.
That's the better way to say that.
That's their official terminology because biggest is probably belongs to somebody else.
In case you're not intrigued, it's one that starts in Michigan and ends in Georgia.
Assassin's Creed, cows licking each other, and what that could mean to us as people. And,
still a no.
We got a couple of rounds of PlayStation stories in here, too. So
should be a good podcast, if we do say so ourselves.
Can we just go ahead and say that it should be a podcast?
Yeah, if it's good, you guys decide.
Should be a podcast.
Make sure you say, hey, text 877 to RadioU. Put that you're a podcast listener. Or if you find us and message us on Facebook, just go to our RadioU Riot page.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm yawning. So what?
No one can hear you, but what I can hear is this. He's like... There was two breaths. It was so big of a yawn. It was two breathing ins.
Yeah, I do that. Like, that means it's a good one.
It was a big one.
It's a good one.
But thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate you, and we hope you do enjoy the podcast today.
And we hope you appreciate us.
We didn't say that. Didn't need to add that in.
All right, have a good day, guys. Bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Easily the weirdest piece of news to emerge yesterday. And Jerome, I did see you. I don't know if you hit us up on Facebook or Twitter, but...
Is this what everybody sent us yesterday? I know which one it is.
Are we both talking about the XFL here?
I think we are. So everybody saw that and tagged us, which is much appreciated.
Yeah. Wait, did we have... I don't know what I did with them. I had those XFL team theme songs, but I don't know. They're...
Just imagine a football theme song, but just a little different, just a tiny bit off.
It's a weird one. It's fine.
Tiny bit extreme.
I may have actually deleted them because I thought,
you just
why
never
would
thought
we
you'd
ever
use them
need
again?
these again?
I was very surprised about The Rock. So Dwayne Johnson is now a partner with the XFL.
Can we say it again? The
XFL, not the NFL, but the XFL.
Man. It's rough, right? The XFL.
So which one was that? Was that that's the one wrestling one or the other one?
Okay. There was the American Alliance of Football. That tried last year, and it couldn't complete its season. Okay.
Who was running that one?
That was people that I'd never... It was like somebody that used to be a sports guy for CBS or NBC or something like that.
Okay, I remember that.
Okay, the XFL started out with a Vince McMahon thing. And
so it was wrestling.
It came back in 2000, or it started in 2000. It died. This was the year they're like, hey, we're going to bring it back. And it did okay. But if you want to talk about a startup business that gets hit pretty hard by the whole COVID thing... The XFL, they couldn't play it. They couldn't finish out their season and play their games and like all that stuff. Nobody was watching it. It was rough. You know what? I watched like parts of XFL games.
Yeah, not the worst.
my thought was like, this feels fine. Like if you wanted more football and you wanted to start somewhere, this feels just fine.
Now, I think we said it. I think it's wrong. Yesterday, it kind of seemed like he was an investor, but now they're basically saying that the XFL has kind of sold to the capital partnership group that he's a part of, that he's an investor in. So it's, The Rock and then Danny Garcia, Redbird Capital as a partner. And then it says it was $15 million.
Yeah.
So that's what he went in for or something?
It's like nothing.
Well, I know, like, is that how? Oh, they paid $15 million, splitting it evenly. And so that's it.
So what they didn't say is, like, are they going to do it again?
I don't know. I mean, they'll probably bring it back in some way, shape, or form.
So the XFL drew 3 million viewers its first week. The audience was about half that number in its fifth and final week.
Yeah.
Before
and then
the
with
shutdown.
COVID stuff, it had to shut down, and then it filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah. So it was like they might have made it if they hadn't had to shut down like that.
Sure,
like
absolutely.
There's a chance that they could have actually made something happen, but...
well, at this point, I don't feel like the XFL has gone away then totally. I'm sure it'll come back in some other flashier way.
Maybe it just needs,
needs money.
It needs money.
It needs more money to make it flashier.
All right. And maybe it needs
needs The Rock.
It needs a personality. It needs
does.
an eyebrow.
Yeah, that's it.
The people's eyebrow.
So they haven't said anything else about what they'll do, but now they're not bankrupt anymore because now they have new owners.
All right. Well, you know what? We wish them the best, just as we all do all endeavors.
We've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
If you're dragging this morning, I have some potentially good news. If you're dragging every morning, this could also be some potentially good news. If you jump out of bed and pray for your friends who are addicted to caffeine, shut up and get out!
You don't want to hear anything about it?
I don't want to hear about it! Sorry.
Now, that passion could also go hand in hand with too much caffeine.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think everybody does.
So, Nikki, let's talk about something that happened. I think it was in Japan earlier this year, and that was them launching Coca Cola with coffee.
Yes.
And they have announced that starting January next year, assuming that we're all still alive and the comet hasn't destroyed us all, or the election, whichever, they are going to be launching Coca-Cola with coffee in the United States.
Hey, now I feel like because there's been so much talk around this drink, I feel like there's already been Coca-Cola with coffee here. Is it Pepsi that did one? Is it someone else that did one?
They launched something that I want to say was Coca-Cola Black.
Yeah.
I think is what it was called. I believe that was a coffee Coke drink. This is a new formula, Nikki.
Oh, a new one because the other one didn't do as well.
So it's not going to be the same. Let me give you a quote. It says that it fuses the familiar, authentic taste of Coca-Cola with the rich, luxurious flavor of 100% Brazilian coffee.
Ooh.
That is, let's see. They'll have less caffeine let's see. I'm trying to get a read on how much caffeine.
There'll be 3 flavors, dark blend, vanilla, and a caramel. It'll have double the amount of caffeine compared to a regular Coke drink.
Okay. But they were saying that a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, which some people might compare this to, has 327 milligrams of caffeine. That is approximately around 6 cups of coffee.
That's enough to fuel your day?
They say you get about 50 in a cup of coffee.
So this will be in the United States, or is it still Japan?
No. It's coming to the U.S. in January.
So Coke launched Coca-Cola Black. That was actually 14 years ago. And then they kept talking about it, and then they said it wasn't the right time, so they're bringing it back in a new way, though.
I'm interested in trying it out. Like I do think now we tried in the absence. We made our own, in which Hudson came in and we brewed coffee using Coke.
Didn't we brew it in the coffee pots?
Yeah.
We brewed it through the coffee pots.
So we basically, instead of water for our coffee, we used soda, and first off, it didn't break the coffee pot, which is amazing.
Well, as far as we know right then and there, it did not. We've since had to get new coffee pot.
Many new coffee pots.
So I'm not going to say it didn't harm it in some way, but you can also just make coffee and pour Coke in it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what their blend tastes like.
That'll be in January. So Coke, regular Coke with Brazilian coffee for the dark blend, vanilla, and caramel.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No.
Radio U.
Okay. So Virgin Galactic is making the rounds this week. Maybe it was last week when they showed us the designs for their upcoming spaceships. You could go on the suborbital space flight.
Yeah, that was last week. And we talked about, it's an option. It wasn't as expensive as people thought.
Only $200,000.
Only $200,000, which is actually very expensive. But as far as space travel is, they could have charged more probably.
Sure. So they unveiled another concept they're working on right now. They are working on a new supersonic transport. What's that? Basically, it's a plane that you could get a seat on that travels faster than the speed of sound, which is something that us civilians don't get a chance to do very often, if at all. The last supersonic transport you may have heard of was the Concorde.
Oh, and they stopped doing that.
Yes, they did. So this is the new hotness. They're saying it will seat 19 people.
Oh, gosh.
That
means it's a lot. Normally, they have to put more seats on it to spread the cost.
They say that it will go Mach 3, which is, 3 times the speed of sound. And it will soar up to 60,000 feet.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes, I see that hand, Nikki, in the back.
Yes, hello, Nikki.
Nikki, Radio U.
Hi.
Okay.
I appreciate all this. I do. So Virgin Galactic, thank you for trying to pave the way for future plane travel. Is there a way, sir, for us to just have a nicer current airplane experience with the ones that we can get on? Can we improve anywhere that way?
Well, I'll tell you, right now we're working on smaller seats and slower travel.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but I feel like we are not trying to help for the everyday person.
That's because there's no money in that.
There's no money in that, but we're paying a lot of money.
No.
It's just not available.
Not really. The real money is
I don't even need to go Mach 3. I can go less than that.
You know what? If you thought about a Cessna, you just buy your own.
Hey, it would just be nice to have a pleasant travel experience for a normal plane.
No, we don't do that.
We don't do that. Okay, I just thought that was just my only question. But, thank you for allowing me the chance to say that. So.
Thank you. And we'll be revoking your press materials after today's event.
I have to pay more now to actually get on a plane. So.
Yeah. So there it is. I think it would be cool. Obviously, I'd probably have to work 10 years to afford one ticket, and that's if I didn't eat for 10 years. But
you can eat on the plane.
I would. I'm really looking for. I've been wanting to lose weight, and that's perfect. It all comes together.
Then they can make the seats skinnier because you can fit in it.
It would be very cool to experience this.
I would love to do that for then I think that would open up international travel as for people who don't like to think about it being such a long haul to get someplace. It would be interesting to find out you can go here and it only takes you 2 hours. The
only thing about that, Nikki, is that most people that that's
is
the
that
thing
what
that's
is holding them
up.
Yeah.
They're going to be the only kind of people that could afford a ticket for something like this.
I see. If they don't already have their own plane.
Listen, you know what? My time is so valuable during the day that I actually save money by purchasing this very expensive ticket.
I was thinking more about normal people who have an anxiety about flying in a plane for 12, 13 hours.
So you think their anxiety is fixed if you're yes, this goes, 8 times as fast and climbs 4 times as high.
It'll be fine. They'll be totally relaxed. But it's only for a couple of hours.
Drink this NyQuil. You'll be fine.
Because you can go to sleep during a dosage because it's so fast. Do you see how it works out?
I get it. I get what you're saying.
So I don't think this actually will work for us.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. Radio U. Radio U.
So, Nikki, I see here that I didn't even know this was a thing. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't think anybody. This is no good.
Is no one going to worry about it?
Nobody's going to care.
What is it?
The people at THX, they certify things. So, those are. If you've ever been at a THX theater, I actually went to a No. That was a Dolby Theater I went to last year. It was so amazing. But they certify stuff. And they have started...
sound quality?
Well, sound quality and picture quality, like home theater kind of stuff. And they are going to start certifying gaming modes on TV to say, like, yes, you're getting the best possible
sound
experience for the screen. So, like, this is not a sound thing. This is going to be an image thing. So they say that to get this certification, you have to pass 400 tests on this TV for high fidelity of color, tone, images, collaboration of white balance, luminance, black levels, gamma.
So is it going to be a theater that gets this or a home theater?
This is a TV.
TV that gets it. And then that'll be a selling feature on the TV.
Mm-hmm, it is. And what's I will say is cool is the latest one to be certified is this brand called TCL. They're well known for making high quality but cheap TVs.
Aren't they always thought of as like the Roku one?
Yeah, they do sell Roku ones.
Yeah, but it's not like an official thing.
Yeah, and they typically review incredibly well, but they're also very inexpensive.
Sure.
When I bought a TV last year, I almost bought one. I came very, very close. But they say their upcoming 6 series TV, which usually, I mean, they're like $500-$600. It will be THX certified,
which
for
is a
gaming.
really good price for the TV.
Yeah, no, it usually is really good. So I thought that was interesting, THX. And then when I said it out loud, I realized it was interesting to me.
You know what? Listen, we thought that was interesting too. Everybody did. Look at all the people saying, we thought it was interesting.
Yes,
they're typing back.
Everybody's into it.
Yeah, they're texting you.
Yeah.
Actually, it's nice to hear that it could come to an affordable TV.
Exactly. Most of us, like a lot of times things that are THX certified are like the Mach 3 plane we were talking about. It's nice for somebody,
not for
just
the everyday.
Not for us.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to hear you could actually possibly, if that's what you're into, still see a TV with that certification.
Mm-hmm. A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki, how's Sugar Rush?
Sugar Rush is good.
Yeah?
I watched a little bit more last night.
So that was Nikki's supposed weekend activity.
I only watched 2 over the weekend, so I'm on the 3rd one. I just finished it. I didn't get through as much. I should have got through all of it. They had a new season, which came out on Friday. It's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just didn't.
I feel that. I was supposed to watch at least several more episodes of Transformers and probably some Umbrella Academy.
And you didn't?
I don't know that I didn't. Now, I watched some movies this weekend.
Yeah, but none of those.
But I didn't watch the stuff that I said I was going to watch.
Eric went through the Umbrella Academy.
Oh,
the
did he
second
like it?
season. Yeah, it seemed like he did. He went through really fast.
That means it must have been pretty good.
I think so.
I watched 1954's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That movie was fantastic.
That was good?
It actually was very good. And the subtext, which I'm sure has millions of articles written about it, was fascinating. The idea of people changing, looking exactly the same on the inside or on the outside, but Nikki being emotionally dead on the inside. It was a warning about post-war life in America and being lulled to sleep by just the comforts of everyday life.
Interesting.
It was.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It was a good script. It was well done. I was surprised. And I've been watching all this old science fiction. It had an incredibly different tone than a lot of the other ones did. It was
once
different.
You say it, it seems like it would be just like Umbrella Academy.
Just like it. Just like it.
I mean, it's practically, or just like Sugar Rush.
Yeah, but I watched that. That was just another rental on iTunes. I think I might watch the remake from the 70s, see what that's like. Or I could watch this brand new stuff that I'm paying a monthly fee for.
I mean, just whatever sounds good to you. We don't want to pressure you into anything.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you. You know what? Earlier this morning, I was saying today was going to be a guilt-free Tuesday, but I think I might have another idea for what today should be.
Okay.
So,
you want to tell us in a minute?
Yeah, I'll just tuck that away.
Hey, Aaron, thank you for texting. He said Umbrella Academy, the second season, was glorious. So
Glorious.
thank you for the text and letting us know.
Well. Shiny.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Guys, today is cancel day. It's got to be. We got to have cancel day. You need to get out there and you need to figure out what the heck you're signed up for.
Oh, so our streaming services and everything?
All of them, yeah.
Yeah, you got to. Honestly, every quarter, you should put a reminder down because you need to go back through, especially after quarantine time. I think we all signed up for extra stuff.
Oh, dude.
You need to go back through and realize, well, what do I still need?
So that's actually what I'm doing right now is that I meant to, and this is the sad part. I had one where I was like, oh, I'm totally canceling this. I've got something called GeForce Now, which is like a gaming streaming service that I really did use there for like a month. But
now it's not the time anymore.
Not anymore.
So you deleting it?
Yeah, totally. If I can figure out how to get signed in, which is
they got ya.
You
can't sign out or you can't quit if you can't sign in.
I don't know. Everything here is like join now, join today, and I'm like, yeah.
But usually the little line underneath it says already a member.
It's not there.
They don't have one.
The little line's not there, Nikki. I don't know what it means.
You'll find it.
I'll figure it out. But yeah, I just saw that they charged me for another month, and it's like, oh no, I got to get on that. So I canceled HBO Max. Thank you. I did it. Okay.
You watched all the movies you wanted to watch.
I need to make sure that I cancel Stars. I signed up for Stars during quarantine. That was they did a thing where you could have it for 6 months for $20. I signed up for that. I think I probably got that money out of that. I watched quite a few movies on there during the beginning.
But now you just don't need it.
Back then. But it's probably time for it to go.
Well, keep a list because this is what happens. You don't realize what you're buying or paying money for each month.
So it's time for all of us to get out there. It's a cancel day. Just take a few minutes.
Actually, you know when you should have had cancel day?
Yesterday.
Last week before the
First
new
of the
month. Yeah, you really need to do it at the end.
That's okay. We're getting caught up. So today is everybody do it. Come on.
Don't yell at him.
No, that's a motivating.
Is this an encouraging one?
You know, I was told
you can do it, not do it.
I was told that as a leader, it's better to lead than motivate. So, but I want to do both right now. I'm leading by example of canceling.
Yeah, you could have all that stuff cleaned out.
But then I'm also trying to motivate. You can do it. I believe in you.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on RadioU.
I just canceled my Stars membership, and now I'm getting so many Stars ads in all my browsers.
They know. They're like, wait a minute.
Get him! Bring him back!
He canceled. You'll see nothing but that all week.
What? Help us!
Obi's cleaning which is something we should be doing more often than I think we are. Go through, see what you're spending your money on, especially the monthly services, and clean them out.
So I ditched HBO, Stars, and now NVIDIA, and I'm trying to find one more. Wouldn't it be great if I could ditch 4 things today?
One. 4 of them today?
Well, technically it's 2 today because the HBO thing was Sunday.
You can find something.
I'm sure I can. We just got to tighten up our belt and find something. Just get rid of it. It's gone.
Flush it all.
Last week I canceled Comixology. So, that's one.
Is that the Amazon one?
That's actually not.
I thought that was free.
It's not free. I think you can get it free for like 60 days or something. But that was another
quarantine.
Yeah,
you sign up for it then.
I think it was like $5 a month. And I know that's not very much. But I got to make room for all these game sales, Nikki.
It all adds up anyways.
So PlayStation announced that during the pandemic, they almost doubled the sales of games during the same time last year. They said it was an 83% increase in the sales of PlayStation games in March, April, May of this year. Wow. Y'all went shopping.
Everybody wanted to start playing games.
You were looking for something to do, and you did. So the other thing that was amazing is that sales for digital games are way, way up. So digitally.
Well, I think that's even more because there's nothing to go and get the physical game or to order it and wait on it tends to, I think, stop some people. But to have it right then and there, I mean, you lose control.
Well, you think in terms of during this pandemic, you didn't accidentally happen to buy one physically. Instead, you were just like, well, it's the only way I can get it.
I'm going to buy it right now.
The buildings are closed.
Because you wanted to play right then.
They said 74% of the games they sold between March and the end of June were
digital ones?
Digital. So that is a huge change in the way. Last year, same quarter, 41% of games were sold digitally. So that's a pretty big swing.
That is.
It'd be interesting to see if that's something that continues kind of as time goes on. Do we, during this quarantine, do we lose our taste for going and physically buying something?
That's a good question. I think restaurants are figuring that out and retailers are figuring that out, which is why they're really trying to at least give you the curbside pickup option. So even if you don't want to go in, they want to make it as convenient compared to just digitally buying it right then and there.
Yeah. Well, I've had some good experiences with curbside pickup, and sometimes you don't. I mean, this is different, like going to Best Buy versus waiting for something on Amazon. I could go and get it that day. But then again, Amazon has
they sometimes send it that day. What a surprise when they do that. You're like, wee.
It's hard to know.
It just depends on the item, honestly.
But what a very strange world we're living in now, right? And when can I get the price on that PlayStation 5? Give me a price.
Never.
You won't even know what it costs when you buy it.
Now, PlayStation did say their next PlayStation online gathering to give you details will not include anything new on it. So you're not even getting it then.
They're not going to tell you. It's August.
They're
Come
waiting.
on.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Let's get real, everybody. It's time for us to take a jump across the pond because, Nikki, they are in the UK starting something I want to be a part of.
What are they doing?
During the month of August, they're doing Eat Out to Help Out. And so the idea is, to help the economy, go out to eat.
Are we supposed to, if you were there, are they still encouraging, though, masks and being careful or what?
Oh, they are. And they would probably use the word takeaway.
Takeaway.
So you need some takeaway food.
So not necessarily going in to eat at the actual restaurant, but going to support by buying the food and taking it home.
Exactly that, Nikki. Exactly that. So a lot of places are offering their meals for 50% off or something like that. As a initiative.
This is just in the UK, though.
Yeah, it's not
in
here.
case you're just joining us, you're like, where?
Because here in America,
we already eating out.
Y'all don't need no incentive to go out to eat.
We already are doing all that.
You're doing it. You're doing it, guys.
Even though I feel like that was real, during the first part of the quarantine, man, that was fun. You were just ordering food and having it brought to you and just doing all that. But now we turned into the more, we can't live like that anymore. We have to make our own food.
I can tell
use our
you
groceries up
right now that those early days of shutdown or whatever, holy crap. First off, when we knew the shutdown was coming, it was okay, I'm going to eat out constantly because I won't be able to, so might as well.
Or that was when you could still go out and go through the drive-thru, and that was your moment to go out for it just for a brief time.
That's all there is.
That's all you got.
That's all there is.
So they're trying to just probably boost local economies. I forget the number, but when we were reading an article the other week about restaurants, so many just cannot recover from what has happened.
So in the UK, they're doing Eat Out to Help Out. And you know what? I just want to pay homage to my British heritage that I don't even know if I have. And I think I'm going to go out to eat today.
Good. You're helping the local economy.
Somebody somewhere is going to be glad to see me with my money.
They will be. Just not cash right now. So
that's a good point. See what they're trying to do, Nikki? They're trying to convert us to a cashless society. See how you're playing into what they're trying to do?
And you're just going right along with it, aren't you?
You're just a mouthpiece for the man.
To be real rebellious would be to eat at home and then just use cash. It's like you're not supposed to follow any of the rules.
You don't need to march. Just cash
and not even buying out.
Eating at home. Wow.
But that's good to help booster their economy.
Yeah. So, Nikki, let's hop a plane and right. Like, we want British food. We just be over there eating at McDonald's.
I'm sure some of it's fine. But here you can help.
You can have the blood pudding.
Oh, no. No.
Go ahead.
I don't want anything
authentic British cuisine
that's in like a pouch. I don't want any of that. We'll just go here, but make sure you try to find local. Like, we know the difference, right?
You know, Nikki, it's funny you say that. I know
local places.
I want to throw out there, that many of our national chains are franchises and are owned by local business owners. So It's not, what you're saying is not necessarily fair, as many local businesses appear national, but are in fact locally owned.
But you want to also...
Somebody somewhere was like, thank you!
Like you were saying, but you also want to try to support local, meaning like go to the actual place to see how you can order their food from them so they're not losing out on money through all the other convenient ways. Try to actually help out.
I think I'm going to go to Dairy Hut today and do their drive-up ordering system.
Is that ice cream, I assume?
You know it is.
If it's a place called Dairy Hut, I bet it's that.
Oh, it's good. It's been a couple weeks.
Look at you helping. You're doing a good job.
I'm eating out to help out, Nikki.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
I know it's Tuesday, but I never feel like it's too early to start talking about the weekend. This weekend, Nikki, the 127 corridor sale is happening.
The 127?
The 127. They call it the world's longest yard sale. Here's the idea. Back in 1987, there was a guy who was not a state guy, but a county guy. Mike Walker was his name, Fentress County, Tennessee. And his idea was, hey, you know what? There's all these interstates, but people don't drive back roads that often. So what if we came up with this basically yard sales along Route 127, and people would drive the route and then they would stop in at these yard sales. Since then, this now covers 690 miles.
For yard sales?
From Gadsden, Alabama to Hudson, Michigan.
I've never heard of this before.
I haven't either, but they call it the world's longest yard sale. With the idea being that if you routed it correctly, you could drive from one end to the other taking in yard sales.
And it's all like back roads, you said? Or back roads.
That actually sounds kind of fun.
It does. It sounds intense. I mean, that's a lot. 6 states that you're going through, but interesting.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. I do, but could be a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. I would love to do a yard sale. I have some stuff that I'm too lazy to want to put on Facebook. It's like the in-between stuff.
Is anybody
I don't know
yard sales?
I have seen some, but not in subdivisions, but people that just live outside of a community.
Right.
But I don't know if we're supposed to or not supposed to.
I've done like 1 or 2 Facebook Marketplace sales since,
Yeah, but sometimes there's stuff that just isn't worth the effort.
Yeah.
So that's when you usually have a yard sale.
I don't know if I've seen a yard sale.
I have. I've seen some.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the other side of it is I may not be paying attention when I do see one.
Well, I'm only looking because I would like to have one, but since I live in a neighborhood, like on Facebook, every so often someone will be like, hey, are we
Yard
having
sale.
one? Because normally we'd have a big community one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. When I was a kid, we had a community yard sale, and I bought a CD once. That was it.
Well, you could go through. That's a way to sell your Blu-rays. It's probably the only way.
You know what? I actually
did get more money for a Blu-ray that way.
I participated in a yard sale a while ago and I actually did sell a chunk, mostly DVDs, some Blu-rays, but I made some money on those. $1 a piece.
Yeah, well, it helps, though. Every little bit counts. So that's the world's longest yard sale. It's the 6th through the 9th
Yeah. So starting Thursday.
Goes
going
from
through
Michigan
Sunday.
to Georgia.
It's crazy.
Never heard of that.
Me either. I need to pull a map and see, like, does it come anywhere near us or what?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but like, when you say it doesn't, how close?
It's along our state line.
Oh, okay. So like
it's not anywhere close to us.
all right.
You're listening to the worst of the riot. Radio U.
Nikki, there's a text here from Bryce.
Yeah.
He wants to know, he says he's got the week off. First off, congratulations.
Hey.
Amazing.
Woo! Says he's got the whole week off. First time more than 3 days off in over a year. Dude, that's awesome.
It is awesome. He was thinking about getting an Assassin's Creed game, was wondering which one we would suggest getting. Nikki,
Anything you would
do
suggest?
What do you think?
I am not into Assassin's Creed, so I would not be the wrong.
You got nothing?
No.
Okay.
I can't even remember the names of them.
Okay.
I can see it. Like, I know what it looks like, but I just can't.
If you want an old school Assassin's Creed experience, Assassin's Creed 4 is really great. One, because here's the thing I don't like. Basically, anything that happens in the modern era, I just don't like in Assassin's Creed. I think it's dumb. But
is dumb the right word to use there?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, it is. It is. And so I really liked Assassin's Creed 4 because you got to be a pirate. And that was great because you were a pirate.
And it's cheaper.
And
so
you got
Bryce.
to build up your ship.
Oh.
Hey, it was awesome, dude.
It was?
I loved that. And like it doesn't work anymore, so I'm sorry to say this, Bryce, but they had an app for your phone where you would go and do the naval battles, and instead of destroying a ship, you could capture it. So I built up this fleet, and then on
you could farm it all?
On my phone, I could send these ships out on missions so I could play the actual game capturing ships and then send the ships on missions during the day from my phone. Nikki, I call it a bathroom game.
Well, okay,
because
I see.
It would be it was timed out. So it was like you would send your ships out and in 8 hours you would find out how that went. And I loved it.
So is that what you're suggesting to Bryce?
They shut that app down. So I would say either that one or I would go with Assassin's Creed Origins. You're the tale of Bayek, the Magi, which he's basically like ancient Egypt cop. He goes around solving problems in Egypt, which I like.
Doesn't that sound amazing?
Hey, I thought it was fun, dude. And you're digging around in all these pyramids and Egypt stuff. You can climb up a pyramid, and then you could like slide down the side of it.
Nice.
I got to tell you, it's better than what I got planned today.
Now, Bryce, it's not Assassin's Creed, but Obi did play Grounded over the weekend.
That was fun.
So if you want to spend some time during your week off, you can check out Radio U Riot on Facebook or our YouTube channel for Obadiah Plays. You'll see Grounded right there, and you can watch him at least play through some of that.
Consuelo, hitting us up from Las Vegas this morning, says, hated Assassin's Creed 3. I never really played it, but the Black Flag was fantastic. Never wanted to be a pirate more.
You guys liked that one?
You know what? There's a lot of things in Assassin's Creed games not to like, but being a pirate, that was all right.
Is that the movie that was like the Michael Fassbender guy?
Fassbender. Never watched it.
And I don't think it took off.
It tanked.
It did, so it sunk.
If it was a pirate ship, it was in Davy Jones' locker.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on Radio U.
Remember, anytime you like, you can text us, say what's up, or come by and give us a lick.
I didn't know that was an option. I don't think that is.
It's not?
No.
Well, Nikki, I'm looking here at this study about cows.
Yeah.
And their times together, in the fields, in the farms, and the whatevers.
What do they do?
They lick each other around the head and neck to show affection.
Aww.
And they say to maintain complex social networks.
Aww. So that's what so similar to like a dog or?
Mm-hmm. They call it social grooming.
Aww.
So that's something that we could start out.
No, we're not going to.
What?
No, that would start more things. There'd be more problems in the world.
What? 2 texts is equal to 1 lick. And we'll start that.
No, I don't think so.
So,
it's cute to hear, though, about them.
Yeah. So, Nikki, I think that it's time for you to help us. We're going to bring this into
the show.
Well, not us, but like at events and stuff. Like, come up to the Riot and You know what? Social distancing is off. Let's.
In fact, we're just going to go the exact opposite way.
We'll just.
Did you think that'd be very uncomfortable? Not just for you if someone's coming up to lick you, but just as the person who's going out and doing that. That's weird.
I think you're going to have to push past some social stigma. All right. People are always trying to judge you when you start something new. And I think we should stop. And I think we should be more accepting. And we should probably start a public service campaign that's just like, meet someone new, try a lick.
No way.
No?
Nope.
Just around the neck and head.
No.
Or maybe
no. Nope.
That's what the cows are doing?
No, the cows are doing their thing, and that's how they communicate. We communicate in different ways.
I'm just saying we could learn a little bit from them.
We can learn in different ways.
And okay. So
but
you're
not that.
You're
I'm
not
not up for
trying.
that. That is
don't even want to
so
try.
awkward. It would be really weird.
Okay. All right. So, I like to suggest new things. You like to shoot it down.
I'm going to shoot that one down. Yeah,
okay,
I am.
That's fine.
In fact, I think everybody who tells us like we're supposed to stay a distance apart, they'd all agree with me. We're not supposed to start doing that. That's the wrong way.
What, the coronavirus spreads from licking?
I bet it does.
Is that okay?
I bet it does.
Show me the evidence.
I don't need evidence.
The government is trying to control us and keep us from licking each other.
You still keep your mask on? It's like you're still wearing your mask, but someone licked you.
That's part of spreading awareness. You can take your mask off for eating, drinking, and licking.
It's spreading something, and it's not awareness. That's
it's spreading social awareness and social closeness.
Nope. No.
We learn from the cows.
No,
we
don't.
You know what? You wear a mask, you're a sheep. You lick people, you're a cow. What is this? I don't know. Somebody show me the way forward.
Worst of the riot. Radio U.
Her name is Gia. Gia has been found. She's been missing for 8 days.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of a miracle that they found her.
It is. She was actually, let's see, she lives around the Cascade Mountains. She went out July 24th to get some coffee. This was at night. And did she run out of gas?
No. Well, she ran out of gas, and then it was such a backwoods sort of road that she didn't have self-service there. And she just wanted to go find some coffee. Then her car ran out of gas, so she thought because she didn't have cell phone service, she should go through the woods to try to get to the other side. Mm-hmm. And she didn't realize that was not the idea you were supposed to do.
I will tell you, if you have not spent time in the Pacific Northwest, you might think to yourself, how could you get lost?
Don't they say never get out of the car? But, I mean, we're not like city folk here, but we are to where we're not around areas where you couldn't just walk through it and eventually find someone. But in these places, you just don't find anybody.
It absolutely can happen. Like, it can. I have been in places in the Northwest where it's this realization of like,
you could die.
I really am on my own out here. Like, there is nobody out here.
Well, everybody had thought
if there's a problem, it's on me, bro. There's no getting help.
She'd gotten abducted or something, or they thought I don't know if they just didn't know she was going for coffee or where she'd been at. But thankfully, after 8 days, they found her very deep in the woods next to a ravine, and she was rescued.
Amazing.
But again, she just did not have cell phone service.
Yeah. So they, as Nikki said, they did eventually find her, but daggone.
They weren't sure.
Depending on who you talk to, it's like, don't leave your car or don't leave the road, if nothing else. Like, at least stay on the road because that means if somebody comes driving to find you, they can at least find you.
Yeah. And always be prepared to get, not sure what area you're in, but it doesn't hurt to have some water in your car or some food in your car or something.
Well, she got lost from her car.
Yeah, just in case. But you got to keep some extra stuff in there or stay near it.
Yeah. I keep water in my car, but I've been told that water is now full of plastic and is killing me slowly.
That's what they say because you left it in the car?
Did you ever heard that because you have plastic water bottles in your car?
It's emergency water. It's okay.
Oh, it's okay for emergencies?
Yeah, I think it's all right. You want to at least have something in there. A blanket or energy bar, just like something.
Yeah, a little something. Problem with keeping a snack in there is I usually end up eating it.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I am in the middle of helping a friend make a decision on a phone.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where if you want to spend $1,200 on a phone, there's really only 2 or 3 choices. But when you get down in the dirt,
you want to spend
in the
less.
muck and the mire, you get into the mid-range phones that are about $400. And then, of course, it goes down to the lower end phones, which I believe anything from a 150 down is normally considered like a low end, and about 200 and up is kind of a mid-range phone. And the phone to get in the mid-range space has been the Apple, is it the SE or is it the
newer one?
Whatever it is. There's a version of Apple's latest iPhone that is $400, and I believe it's the SE. And what everybody raves about is the fact that it's a little bit smaller, and, the camera's not as good, whatever, but it has the exact same processor in it that the iPhone 11 does. So even though some of the exterior stuff like camera and whatnot, they've skimped on a little bit, the interior should keep that phone running for a good long time. Mm-hmm. You should be able to get many years of use out of that phone. Well, everyone is now kind of raving because Google has just released their new mid-range phone.
So it's about the same price?
It's the Google Pixel 4a, $350. And I can't speak for everyone's review, but I can tell you that Engadget has changed their recommendation on a mid-range phone from the iPhone SE
to this one
to the Google Pixel 4a, which they say it's amazing.
What do they say is amazing about it?
Well, I'll give you a rundown of their review. They say it is obviously, quote unquote, inexpensive. Excellent camera.
Which is sad, isn't it? At $350. It's just like, oh, that's the cheap phone. You're so sad to hear that.
Still sounds expensive to me. Though I will throw this out here. Most carriers, if you want to get a phone like this, and I think it's why they've become more popular.
These are like the free ones or that you pay.
They're not free, but they're about $12 to $15 a month.
For the rental?
Right. For the rental, or, it's yours at the end of 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The way they used to be. Remember that when you got the new hot iPhone and it was like, well, it's funny. I just pay $200 and then that's all. They say that it's very fast, the fingerprint sensor on the back, and they like that it has a headphone jack, which I'll have to say, as an owner of an iPhone 10, every once in a while, that's pretty annoying. Where you're like, I want to plug in headphones. No, none of that.
No, you don't want to anymore. You're just...
Because headphone jacks are stupid.
It is. It'll just take some more time for you to get used to that.
Yeah. The other thing that's nice about getting a Google Pixel phone is it runs, and this is the nerdy part, what they call stock Android. So in other words, it doesn't have, like if you get a Samsung phone and it has all these apps you can't uninstall, it's not like that. You're literally getting Android at its most rock bottom basic version possible. And because it's a Google phone, every time they release a new update for Android, you're going to be basically the first person to get it, which is cool.
Guess what? They all look the same. Okay. So just looking at it, they all look the same.
What do you mean?
It just looks like an iPhone. And an iPhone just looks like it. They all look the same.
They really do.
I mean, granted, the operating system is different. So that is a change. But on the outside, they're all the same.
So this phone is either out now or it's about to come out in the next few days. Probably depends on your carrier, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
But, Engadget's giving it super high reviews. A lot of other people are as well. And $350.
So that's the Pixel 4a. They're saying, is it the better of the mid-range?
They
phones?
say, and this is just Engadget's opinion, of course, but they say that it's the best. Like they now rate it above that iPhone. But I get the feeling my friend's going to end up with an iPhone. We'll see.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Hey, you know what was scheduled for August 13th, Nikki?
What was scheduled?
They were doing a little something that they were going to call the Field of Dreams game.
It's postponed, guys. I hear the music.
Major League Baseball, what they did was they built a temporary stadium that would seat 9,000 people that was basically across the cornfield from the movie set, which is still there.
So they made a movie that's
called Field of Dreams.
It's an older movie.
Yeah, 80-something, 1989.
Kevin Costner. And so there's actual, where they filmed the movie, that field is still a place you can go kind of visit as a tourist thing.
Correct. And then they were like, hey, we're going to have a Field of Dreams game, but that's too small. So they built a quote-unquote kind of regulation-sized one.
Across the way.
Yeah. It was scheduled for August 13th.
It's supposed to be the White Sox and the Cardinals.
And it looks like
it's postponed.
It's not going to happen.
So it's supposed to happen next year.
Yeah.
2021.
Just push it on. Next year, man,
next year's going to be so much stuff.
There's so many things that are going to be happening, and it's going to be great, guys.
Even though now I'm starting just to hear 2022. So maybe that's better so that it's not everything literally next summer.
Well, they are saying Major League Baseball, the MLB, the commissioner.
So what do they do? Just have to maintain the stadium and the field until then, since it was wasn't a permanent one.
I guess so. You know what, though? That's going to end up turning into some permanent thing.
It looks really cool if you see. There's an overhead picture of the new stadium and then the Field of Dreams with the farmhouse one to the right. It's neat to see the connection between the two.
It's true. It looks good. Have you ever seen Field of Dreams?
I think I have. I think so. I think I did. I think it was sad.
All I remember is, if you build it, he will come. That's all I got.
Is that the line from it? Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of it I don't. And like ghost players playing baseball. I don't. You know what?
Maybe it's one of your old movie things that you go back and watch. Normally, you're just watching old sci-fi movies. You need to be honest. That's all you're watching.
I got a Kevin Costner problem.
Why, you don't like him?
I mean,
has he done anything you like?
Yeah, kind of.
Is he in that Yellowstone thing? I started seeing.
He is. Yeah.
There must be like a new season because I keep getting ads for that.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of that.
Didn't feel like the need to watch anymore.
Nah.
Well, Julia said, yeah, it's ghosts playing baseball.
Yeah, see, all right. That sounds like it has everything in it I don't like.
Well, if it was in space, you'd be all over it.
The Riot, Radio U.
Now, today is August 4th, which means I'm 3 days out from getting Horizon Zero Dawn on the PC. But then coming out September 4th, 5th, something like that, is that Marvel Avengers game that everybody's so excited about. But some people got a little frustrated yesterday. They announced that Spider-Man is coming to the Avengers game only on PlayStation.
So that means he's only a character you can play if you're playing the PlayStation version?
That's correct.
And non-PlayStation people are upset about that?
Yes, they are.
So that'd be Xbox and PC players?
I guess so.
Okay.
They're not happy about it.
Why won't they let everybody play?
Because, Nikki, they want it. That's how it works. It's incentive.
They want you to play something from you from everything.
Sony probably paid extra money so that Spider-Man would appear in their version, but not in other people's versions.
That doesn't mean it's forever. We mentioned that many times before, but at least for now, people are mad at that.
It could be that, in 2 years when you don't care,
Spider-Man will be unlocked from your game.
You'll absolutely be able to get that. So you won't have to worry about it. It's kind of hard to know.
Well, are you sad then? Because you're usually a PC player. Does that make you mad?
You know what, Nikki? I am just very skeptical of this Avengers game. I don't know why. You're just
not into it?
I don't think it looks very good. And I'm supposed
to whisper it.
I feel like I have to.
No, you can say it out loud. Don't be ashamed of your thoughts and your feelings.
I feel like they're listening.
And Spider-Man or Sony will be disappointed in you.
No, but like I feel like somebody somewhere is going to get me if I tell the truth, and the truth is I don't think it looks very good.
Well, that can happen.
You know what I want? I want to be just so wrong, like incredibly super duper wrong. That's what I want to happen. I want to play this game and be like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
So, yeah, someone texted said Sony, already owns the rights to Spider-Man. So
well, there's
a lot technically
own the rights to Spider-Man.
There's a lot to that.
It's a complicated thing.
It's you ever had like a really complicated relationship and it's back and
like
forth and
that.
It probably means in that they did have to pay something. It wasn't just like, we're not giving it to anybody else.
It probably had. I'm sure there was an advantage of something, whatever, somewhere. But yes, it's a thing. But there it is. Like that DLC. That's coming out early September, and I hope it's good because you know what? It's been a dry season.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be nice to have a big higher profile game. It'd be nice to have something like that.
Yeah, I'm just going back and playing old games. Now I have plenty of those. Don't you worry.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Oh, you know what, Nikki? I know that it hasn't been that long, and I should probably, postpone it, but...
Oh, there's more postponements? You got to space them out. What else is postponed?
I got another postponement for you.
What else is there?
Well, Universal Orlando was going to be opening Super Nintendo World, where you were going to go and do all the cool Mario stuff.
Yeah, there's one in Japan, which came first, and then the Orlando one was supposed to come.
Yeah. 2 words for you. You ready? Delayed.
Opening.
Indefinitely.
Oh, the indefinite one. I don't know why people use that. It's scary. It's like I feel
hurtful.
like it's never going to happen.
It's hurtful. Like when you tell me that...
That feels permanent.
That feels like you've been asking somebody out, and finally they're just like...
No, that's the final one.
No, indefinitely.
Definitely.
Okay.
So we're supposed to ask again?
Everything that I've said to you, oh man, I had that experience. I asked this girl out, and she's like, oh no, I can't, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh,
she was hoping you would take the hint, but she never didn't really say it.
Second time I asked her out, she was like, oh no, blah, blah, blah. And I actually... This is just the kind of person I am. And I was actually like, oh, right, okay.
You don't want to.
I was like, it would have been easier if you just flat out told me you didn't want to go. I genuinely thought you were busy that night. I didn't realize that I'm so objectionable that you couldn't even fathom the idea of spending time in mine and only my presence.
You weren't supposed to embarrass her, though, by stating that.
No, I didn't say that. But I just was like, oh, yeah, okay. Finally got it.
So back to Nintendo at Universal Studios.
Yeah, well, Nintendo just said, listen, it's not you, it's us.
But it's not like it's built yet, is it?
No.
Okay, so they haven't started it.
No, they're starting on it. It was supposed to open in 2023.
Oh, gosh.
No, but don't you get it? Don't you see the true terror of what we're talking about here, Nikki? They are canceling things that are supposed to happen in 3 years.
What are we doing?
3 years from now, this is supposed to happen, and now you're telling me it's not happening.
I don't think it takes you 3 years to build Nintendo Land.
Well, you don't know.
No, it's smaller than you think it is because it's in Japan. It's there.
But quality. It's going to have the quality is what you're not getting.
Don't care anymore. It's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. It's fine.
Just like my reaction to being rejected.
I know. You get so used to it.
I don't care anymore.
I don't want to do anything.
It's fine.
It's great. But don't blame don't blame any of us, though, when you finally open it up 6 or 10 years from now and we don't want to go.
People will still go.
Because we're just not interested anymore.
Do you know how I know they'll still go?
Why?
Because this Christmas, when they put out that Super Mario Galaxy Switch port that you've been dying for, and you're like, ah!
I don't have to go anywhere for that, though.
I know, but it'll keep the love alive.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
What the flamin' hot?